Hey siblings, Maureen here. How are you doing? So I'm here to talk about healing, especially the healing of the mind, the healing of the soul, and I enjoy talking about healing because I find that it's one aspect that plays significant roles in our journey to living the holistic life that God intended for us. Okay, so what I'm about to share with you is something that played a very significant role in my life, and it has been playing this role in my life as I navigate seasons and journey in becoming the best version of myself in God on a daily basis. So I find that in life we are very reactive to our approach to healing, right? We usually wait until there's a problem before we start seeking opportunities, resources, scriptures, medicine, or different tools that would help us navigate our journey of healing and recovery. And when that happens, it's as though we are already late to the party, and then we're trying to quickly apply a fire brigade approach to our healing and recovery. But I find that that is not the way God wants us to navigate our life. Okay, so I'm here to talk about two approaches I believe that we should apply as we navigate seasons in life. So approach number one is what I call the preventive method. We know that life is going to happen, right? This knowledge, this awareness of the frailty of life is supposed to inspire us, motivate us, and push us to seek out preventive measures that would play a major role in our journey of healing and recovery. And preventive measure is basically us not waiting until we actually do have a problem before we start seeking opportunities, resources, tools, scriptures, and every material that's going to become handy for our journey of healing and recovery. And then the second approach to healing is what I call the curative, and that is what we are very familiar with. We wait until there's a problem before we start seeking opportunities for healing and recovery. When you check these two approaches, you're going to discover that once you start preparing for life and you apply the preventive measure, and then you have your resources, you have your scriptures handy for when life happens, right? It's much more easier for you to navigate your healing than when you're already in problem or you're already experiencing life, and then you're having to also seek the resources and tools that would help you navigate healing and recovery. It's usually not sweet when you're already in problem and then you're looking for what is going to help you get out of the problem. In many instances, right, as it regards the curative, we don't even wait for life to happen. Life just happens, and when life happens and throws us into this state when we know there's a defect in our attitude, a defect in our emotion, or a defect in how we navigate life, or we just realize that something is not right with us on a holistic level, and then almost immediately we are thrown into what I call the treasure hunt, where we are seeking for tools and resources and scriptures and sometimes even drugs to help us navigate this season. And when we do that, it is very disorienting and it is very discouraging, because you at that point you are now desperate for help, you are now desperate for healing. And whenever you are desperate for anything, where you're seeking help, seeking resources to help you navigate your healing and recovery, it's going to actually blur out the possibilities around you, and sometimes it's going to even elongate the journey for you because you're having to deal with two different emotional imbalance at the same time. So I'm saying all of these things to say that the best approach that we should apply to our life is the preventive method. It's not as though you're going to be able to prevent everything 100%, but life should not always meet you unprepared. Life experiences shouldn't always meet you unprepared. There are certain things that we know about life that should guide how we prepare for life. That's also the same thing that happens in the context of marriage, where a lot of persons don't prepare for the marriage and then they get into the marriage before they actually start preparing. I've heard some persons say, oh, marriage is a box, you never know what's in it until you get into it. That's not 100% true. There are certain things that we know right, that are contained in the institution of marriage. So it's always wise for us to actually prepare for it as we navigate life. We know that this life is not perfect, and one of the reasons I'm very particular about this preventive measure or this preventive approach is that you're not just preparing for yourself, you're preparing for yourself, yes, you're preparing for other people around you, for your family, for your children, so you will know exactly what to do when they are navigating unpleasant seasons, when they have traumatic experiences, when they are hurting and then they need support, and you have something to offer. Having something to offer when someone is navigating seasons, unpleasant experiences, is one of the most beautiful places you can ever be. Sometimes it's just knowing that listening to this person can help them navigate their season. At other times, you just know that don't even say anything, just hug them and it's going to help. And you can recommend a scripture and send it to the person. You can recommend a drug, you can recommend a therapist, a counselor, a dance therapy, music therapy. All of these things are different approaches that you can employ in your journey of healing and recovery. But if you never know which of them works, when someone is in problem, you also not know what to do because you have not prepared, you've not taken measures in life to prevent some of these things. We are not unaware of the curveballs that life will attempt to throw at us, but then we must learn how to utilize our proactiveness to solving problems. Don't wait until life happens before you start seeking resources and tools that will help you navigate your journey of healing and recovery. I love you. Bye-bye.